Yeah, and this just kind of like came to my mind really in terms of stuff I've read myself in terms of for females, particularly those going through menstrual cycles and stuff. What are your sort of thoughts in terms of dieting during that phase? Because obviously that's sort of a phase where I think women expect to sort of just carry on losing weight when really that's not a time that they should be even encouraging dieting. What's your take on that?
Yeah. So with females, again, some of the maybe the more sexist guys out there will hate me for saying this, but I do feel for females because they've got it rough. Like, hats off to all of them, because what you do in your bodies, what you are capable of doing, in my mind, is incredible. And so when it comes to the menstrual cycle, that's just a natural part of your body, of what you do. And, hormones are going to be going up and down every month. And for me, it's really important to, maybe even more so for females, to focus on your health and well-being more, because you don't want to, go on a diet that is going to disrupt your menstrual cycle or, affect your period or things like that. And again, I'm no expert on this. There's doctors with way more knowledge on, this than me, but I can tell you from a hormone standpoint, you don't want to be doing any drastic dietary changes around your menstrual cycle, because you don't want to mess that up. And one of the things is fasting. So I know you mentioned fasting before, and I think fasting is a great tool for basically health benefits. Again, fasting is something that I provide as part of my education for my plans. I don't ever say people don't eat unless, they're after the plan, but I educate them on it. And it's much, much more than just restricting calories and picking what you want throughout the day. Like, that's obviously a big part of it, but fasting and feeding it, by the polar opposites, and it's a form of stressor. So when it comes to females, you don't want to stress your body too much, because that response might be a negative one. And this was what my master's study was all about. Fair enough, it was about physiology and change of fitness within these football players, but it was the dose response, which any living thing in the planet, its biology is made up of a dose response. So if I drink half a cup of coffee, I've got half a cup of a dose of caffeine, I'm going to have some form of physiological response. If I drink a full cup, I've doubled my dosage, let's say gram for gram of caffeine, it might not be, but let's just hypothetically say that response is going to be a bit different. So fasting does this in the way that it's a form of stressor, that you're stressing your body out, and there are many different health benefits to fasting. But if you are a female and you have already maybe got some form of hormonal issues or imbalance of hormones, I wouldn't recommend doing fasting, because that can disrupt these hormones even further.